Welcome back to the Hooligans Pitch, episode 36 for match day 36. We're lined up now.
I know. We're not Brighton.
We're good to go now. As always, Chad.
Michael, hello again.
Hello.
It's been a week.
How was your week?
It's been a week. It's only been 1 week since we last spoke. I had a pretty decent week. Inter Milan kicking AC Milan's butt. Some drama in the EPL. I think we saw the Daggers coming out in a couple multiple places. A couple of hearts ripped out. It, reminded me of like a red wedding almost, where each league kind of had like their team kind of winning championships. Barcelona getting the fans getting ready to kill them. That was crazy. That was one of the craziest things I've ever seen. Kind of disrespectful that Lewandowski's essentially skipping in the middle of the field, but they just won. I mean, come on. I'm like, what are those fans gonna do? But let's get the bevies out. Let's get that rolling. I have a metaphor to go along with mine because, like Arsenal's season, it's going down in flames. So I'm going to toast this bad boy.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm going to aim my camera down just so you can see it here. Woo! I probably shouldn't do that right on my desk, but we're gonna try. I'm going to back up a little bit.
Yeah.
Because that got a little smoky here, but let's try it again. You ready?
Yeah.
Oh!
It's going great.
Yeah, we're good. Just, almost
Dang.
torched my hand off. Okay, so just like Arsenal's season, it's up in smoke.
Ooh.
But you know what, Chad? You know what?
Huh.
It sure tastes good.
Wow. I mean, I don't have all that production value that you got, but Sierra Nevada's summer lager.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going with.
I love the theme. You're ready for summer. Arsenal is too. Yeah, I went with the old fashioned because, Liverpool's clicking, City's winning the championship, Barcelona's winning the championship, Inter Milan is back.
So what year is it,
It could be 2010, it could be 2020, it could be any year in the last decade, to be real. But yeah, again, I apologize. I brought out my Arsenal kit. I really wanted to wear this on a different occasion, but I think if there's going to be any time to wear it, now is probably the best time to support Arsenal because, the memes are out in full force. It's going to be a tough couple weeks here, but you had to be close to perfect, and you almost were.
Yeah, well, I mean, that like we talked about before, it's going up against City is a huge task, and if you're not like basically perfect, it's just not going to happen. And it's still been a fun season for me. I've enjoyed the ride. This game a little bit less.
Yeah.
So, but you take the wins where you can get them, and I can see the vision. I can see the progress. Things are moving in the right direction at least. So a bummer of an ending, I guess, for the season. But we move on. We go again.
You go again, and with all the stats coming out, I know Arsenal had the highest amount of points at the halfway mark of a season and didn't win Premier League. All you got to say is, when was the World Cup that year? That's a really easy thing to kind of slide in there to be like, and again, everyone had to go through it. Everyone had a World Cup this year. It's not like Arsenal was specific to it, but let's be real. Arsenal's, let's call him top 3, top 4, borderline top 5 player got hurt and was out for a portion of the year. Now, they did really great in that portion of the year, but that's still, you're asking him to come back and then go through a crucial part of the season, in Jesus I'm talking about here. And it just, not having Saliba is a big one too. I mean, there's just no depth with that squad. You can go on and on with these excuses. But I mean, City doesn't have De Bruyne, and look at them right now.
Yeah, I think it just shows like there's still work to be done for Arsenal, both in the squad and tactically, to kind of get a little bit stronger depth where, a Saliba missing is not a huge loss, and like Zinchenko was gone for this game, and I think definitely played a part in some of the midfield control that Arsenal normally has. So there's still pieces to be found, and the jigsaw puzzle that is a title winning team is still being crafted. But it's like I said, I can see the vision. I can see which way Arsenal's moving. As long as they're compete every year, that's all we can ask for as fans, right? Like, yeah, you want to win everything, but like there's no guarantee in that. You at least want to see the team out there fighting for it and pushing and leaving it all out on the pitch to try and get these wins. For the most part this season, Arsenal have done that, but maybe not so much in this game.
You come at it from Liverpool's point of view. I'd rather be where you are than where we are, and yeah, everyone would be laughing at Liverpool in the same kind of spot, but a little different since we would be kind of the average age for a Premier League championship team rather than Arsenal being the youngest team in the Premier League on average, and being where they are. Well, that just means we're going to see them for the next decade. So not for us, it's like great. Like we're gonna have to deal with this for so long, with all their guys aging out. It's going to be tough, but I don't know. Do we give City the credit where credit's due, or is it just?
I mean, yeah, they definitely get credit. Like, they still got to go out and win their games, right? Like, and they had the midweek game against Madrid. Pep didn't make any subs because
crazy.
Yeah,
that man is crazy.
So, like, go away to Everton. I hoped for a little bit more from Everton.
Yeah, you were pretty harsh on them afterwards, but come on, Chad. What did you expect? What did
Look,
you?
I've seen what Sean Dyche can do with these teams, like, and for the first 30 minutes or so, they looked decent, but just they couldn't do us a favor, which I don't know, didn't help Arsenal in the end of the weekend anyway. So
it's a tough ask. It makes you wonder, how all the puzzle pieces fall into place here, where Everton kicks Brighton's ass. Brighton, no offense, kicks Arsenal's ass. And it's like, okay, if Brighton would have beat Everton in the reverse fashion, would Everton been a little more hungry to go beat City? It's like, weird timeline things that could have happened.
That, but then, also like Brighton just got dominated. So like we got to really bounce back. So it was always going to be that. I mean, there's always going to be a tough game against Brighton, but then
it was extra.
Them coming off of that, like, it's just extra motivation to go out there and really strut their stuff. So
I won't say I saw it coming, but I think I said "uh-oh" when Brighton had the ball a couple dozen times watching that game.
Yeah.
I never said it when Arsenal had the ball and they were attacking. It was never an uh-oh moment. It was every time a turnover happened, lost possession, Brighton's going, I'm like, uh-oh. A lot of that.
Arsenal had some good regaining possession pretty high up, and had a handful of shots from Odegaard, Saka, Trossard, Nelson, like that were just wide.
I know Nelson had a really close one. I don't know if it was the closest, but in my opinion, that's the one that kind of is still in my memory.
I mean, they had their moments, but just wasn't meant to be, I guess.
No, Brighton's a really good team. I do want to talk about Martinelli getting a little out of control there. It's kind of 2 games in a row, and he just took out Matoma with his shoulder like no other. And I was honestly shocked Matoma stayed in the game.
I mean, I think like overall, just the reffing on this game was a little bit rough. Like, I mean, like that Martinelli foul is certainly a foul, certainly a yellow. You could maybe argue even red in there because like he is jumping to play the ball, but he's more so like jumping into Matoma, right? And then that doesn't get carded. So then I think Caicedo makes the foul on Martinelli a few minutes later, which maybe has some like retaliation in it. I don't know. It could have happened either way, but that also probably should have been a yellow, but was allowed to go on. And I think especially that whole like first half was just very like stop and start and these fouls, and the ref just kind of had no control at all.
It's part of the I don't know, the stigma of not giving a yellow card early, but it's like that's the point of the yellow card. That's what you're supposed to. Like, there's no reason why those cards shouldn't have came out then. If anything, it'll settle them down to not do these even more riskier challenges later in the game. It's like, oh, if I can get away with that, and that's not even a card, imagine what I could do later.
Well, and you see that sometimes in those games where like challenges aren't properly assessed and given a yellow card and stuff, where it's like eventually the players are like, well, shit, I just got to protect myself now. So like, if I got to fight a dude, I'm gonna do it, and then that's when you get like the bogus red card because they retaliate when it's like ref has given them zero help and protection throughout the whole game, and then the moment they stand up, it's like now the ref found his cards, and that's not fair on the players. Like, they shouldn't have to worry about that too much, but I mean, luckily nothing like that big happened in this game. But it's a fine line when the ref doesn't want to give out early yellow cards and just let these players like make these dangerous, reckless tackles and stuff, and then jump into players and stuff. Like,
well, I think we see that trend as the season goes on. I mean, especially I remember watching Champions League, for years, and essentially when you get into the last couple of rounds, you don't want to give those star player yellow cards early in the game, and I think the same could be said for league play. It's we're in the final ride of the season, and I understand the refs want to let the players play. The fans are there to watch the players, not the ref. But when you have a guy just straight barreling into people, within the first 15 minutes of a game, like, well, what do we? Come on, like we gotta call that here. We can't just let that go. That's just my 2 minutes on that. But because that was, I watched that a couple times, just like, oh man, like I would have fought someone. I think I would have fought someone if I got hit like that.
I mean, it's definitely reckless. I don't even want to call it a challenge necessarily, because it's just
barreled in
reckless, I don't know. Like, I saw a few comments saying that, oh, like Martinelli's a dirty player and stuff. It's like, I don't think he's dirty in that sense. I think he just sometimes, his like drive, I think, overtakes the like common sense part of him. Because like, I think it was last season where he made a foul on, I think it was against Wolves, a Wolves player. They went out for a throw in, and he like jumps up and blocks the ball or something. Got like 2 yellows in like a I don't know, like a 2-minute span, because he wanted to stop the play and had made a foul previously. And it's like, I think it's more just like sometimes his like drive and desire to get the ball and like have possession and do something with it kind of overrides his I guess common sense. Like, he's not a defender, so his challenges are already going to be a little bit shaky, I guess. But I don't know. I haven't seen enough from him to call him a dirty player.
Right.
I mean, certainly this one on Matoma and the one with Bednarak are like not good looks. But to call him dirty after like just 2 is a little harsh, I think. Like, it's like puppy energy,
something
like that, or it's just like
when the dog keeps jumping on you, you gotta, hey, it's kind of like that. He's just jumping up in the air, like, what happens next? And I feel like if he is on the opposite end of those, he might think twice about it. Like, once someone jumps higher than him and does that same motion, might, I don't know, I don't want to say scare him for the future in case it does happen again, but he might have a sense of human reality in that play, because he's like, oh man, I might have killed that guy for the next month, and he's not going to be able to play again.
If the ref just fairly deals out the punishment, whether it's yellow or red card, then okay, well, I shouldn't have done that. Won't just jump blindly into a challenge again,
That's the simple answer, Chad. We're not here for a simple podcast. All right. Well, that's my bit on Arsenal. Do you got anything you want to add to it?
I mean, as much as like the first goal maybe doesn't matter now that it ended 3-0. Like, I think that first goal's a foul on Kivior. He gets stepped on enough to where his whole shoe comes off. I feel like that foul happens anywhere else on the pitch, it's probably called a foul.
Sure.
Um, so, a little hard done by that one, but
You're talking about when he was in the box, right?
yeah, on that first goal, I think it's Ferguson is like coming in behind him, and I think he more kind of like slips into Kivior, and then his foot kind of goes down his ankle and pulls his shoe off and stuff. Like, I think a foul. I guess at the end of the day, it probably wouldn't have changed too much, but I wish VAR apparently checked it, didn't deem it was worthy of a foul, but I think anywhere else in any other moment, that's probably called.
You can just get away with so much in that 6-yard box there that it doesn't.
Yeah.
I think anything could have happened besides, hell, maybe even a handball could have happened and it still might not have gotten called. You don't know, but I don't think that wasn't the Dagger goal for me. It was the second one because it was just so late in the game and it's like, okay, that's done. They're not even gonna get a draw.
I mean, yeah. Overall, Arsenal is just I don't know, very flat and like lackluster, and maybe that's just more credit to Brighton for coming and playing their game and executing it so well.
We praised Odegaard so hard last week, and it makes me think he might have listened to us and maybe he's like, yeah, I am a great player, and then just, I don't know, kind of shat the bed. He played fine, but he didn't play to the level he's been playing the last couple weeks.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know if it's, it's these basically the same starting 11 the whole season that Arteta's used. So like, I don't know if now it's just everyone's getting tired or what, but I don't know. I mean, defense has certainly been an issue. I saw one stat that Arsenal has conceded 23 goals at home so far.
Mm-hmm.
And the only teams that have conceded more at home are Fulham, Bournemouth, Everton, Leeds, and Southampton.
Oh.
So if you want to talk about, like where the title race was lost, it's home defense, essentially. Like, you're letting in 23 goals. Like, that's not good enough, right? So, still room to grow for Arsenal. We go again. That's it.
Now, mathematically, are they officially out? I don't think it's happened yet, right?
Not yet. This weekend, as long as City win, then I think it's donezo.
City have to win.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's ever a time to believe in Chelsea, it's now, Chad. It's now.
They maybe didn't get the win this past weekend, but they at least know who their next manager will be now. So maybe the players will be like, all right, let's bump it up. Let's show them what we can do.
Yeah, maybe. That Forest team looked pretty terrible, and they still are able to grab a draw from them. And hey, bravo, Forest. I knew you would do it. I knew you would do it. And even though they're not clear yet, the math today...
That's a big point.
Huge point. Absolutely huge. So next week, are you good on your Arsenal? I just want to kind of...
Yeah. We can move on from them.
The relegation battle is just getting quite interesting here. Mm-hmm. Leicester lost today against Liverpool 3-0. If West Ham and Leeds win their game and Leicester loses against Newcastle, Leicester is automatically getting relegated. They're right there with Southampton. Yeah. That's when it's going to get real spicy with Everton and Leeds and maybe Forest. But I think Forest might just have enough in them to make it out. But West Ham and Leeds next week, that's going to be fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's... I mean, yeah, so Southampton confirmed, like, down, but still that 19-18 17, yeah, and like kind of up to 16 where Forest is. Like they're all right there. They all got decent games left to play. Like I don't think any of those has an easy road to end this season and get out. I don't know. I think Leicester probably goes down.
Do you think Everton's going to stick around?
Eesh. Off of the Brighton win, I would have said yes, but off of the defensive performance against City, I'm now unsure again. Like,
well, we saw Connor Cody come back on the pitch against City, so I don't know if that was it didn't feel like a desperation move. I mean, he didn't play Keane.
no,
It was just they're I don't know, now trying too many things instead of sticking with what they
maybe,
got.
yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I won't be surprised if Everton go down and Leeds somehow stick around. But if there was a choice, or if there was an option of 4 teams, I would say group them all. They didn't do anything this year to really prove that they could stick around. So whoever makes it, very lucky. You should be thanking the few wins you got this season against maybe Liverpool. Chelsea. Yeah, Leeds. Yeah, mostly Chelsea. Leeds can thank Liverpool. Everton can thank Brighton. And
they got a win against Arsenal too. So.
Oh, that's right. Holy moly!
Big 3 points right there.
Holy moly! Wow.
So
yeah, Everton did you no favors.
No, not at all.
Awful.
Yeah.
City looked stupidly good again. I thought I looked at my screen wrong when it had Gundogan and Holland with their 2 goals and assists. I swear, I'm not kidding, Chad. I saw it. I was like, again? Literally the same thing. But some amazing goals.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, Gundogan's little like I don't know what you call it, like a just weird, yeah, like flick, not a bike, but just a blind shot, right? Like he doesn't look back ever. He just
it came off of his chest really quickly. So it like hit his chest and just dropped. It didn't have any like cushion to it because I think he did probably want to cushion it or pop it up a little bit, but it just like hit. It was like like straight down. So he had to like just twist his foot back at it, and it just happened to go in. His free kick was amazing.
Yeah.
It would have been really interesting to see if they got a PK to just like let's do this again. Let's do it again and see what Pep thinks.
Now, had that happen, you think Holland takes it this time, or is he gonna try and be nice guy again?
No, I think Holland takes it. I think Pep's message was loud and clear.
Yeah.
And that was technically before the Arsenal game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
right before. Yeah.
So yeah, they probably would have had Holland go. Now, if Holland would have missed it, that's when things would have gotten really spicy. But things fell into place, and Holland is still scoring.
Oh yeah. He's not done.
No, but let's jump into Liverpool here just a little bit.
Sure.
Trent Alexander-Arnold is now our second best player all of a sudden for the last 2 months. And I think he's happy. I think he's having a great time. I think he loves distributing the ball. Yeah. He loves scoring goals. It's incredible. What a turnaround. 7th win in a row. Things are looking pretty damn good. I'm happy with what we're doing. Again, it was Leicester. I mean, we torched them. Yeah. We torched them. Curtis Jones coming out of nowhere, scoring 2 great goals. Yeah. Salvo with the hat trick of assists, his 3rd one being my favorite one of the season. I was like, when I saw it happen, I was like, that's an assist, and they didn't credit him with an assist, and I was like, they didn't for like a good 10 minutes. And then I was checking who scored, it wasn't there. And then the commentators were like, oh, just to let the viewer know, like Salah has been rewarded with the assist because he tapped the ball back to Trent. I was like, yeah, like what's wrong with these people? Give the man his assist.
I mean, yeah, it looked like, just Leicester defense doing what they do of being just like chaos back there. And I think that 3rd goal was just Liverpool just really enjoying the game and The little flick back from the free kick to set up Trent was already a nice style move, and then Trent just bangs it in, and whew.
This was Leicester's worst defeat in the last. Well, I could really do some history here. At least the last 7 games. I can go all the way up till Man United, February 19th. This just makes my Soyun Chu dream a reality because he didn't play this game. So, goes to show how important that man truly was. And you know what? You can quote me. If he would have played this season, they wouldn't be relegated.
That's a good shout. I mean, the few games he's come back in, he's probably been one of their best players.
He's the Turkish commander. Gets it done. He really does. Yeah. He knows what he's doing back there. And then you have his evil twin, Wout Fass. Not like,
yeah,
it's bad. I mean, he's bad.
I don't know why Leicester has just like they ride or die with that guy for some reason, and he's not been great all season. Like, and I think just the issues that Leicester have had all season, you might as well just start, changing things up and trying new lineups and everything, and somehow he just always finds his way in there. Well, you had Soyuncu sitting on the bench.
Vestergaard.
I don't know if Vestergaard was ever healthy this year. I don't know.
They said he wasn't, but
come on. I don't know. That whole team has kind of been a mess all year. So, I mean, going down seems only fair. You can't spend a whole season in just like chaos and blacklisting players just because there's no good reason to. Just Brendan Rodgers just decided that one day, nope, you guys don't play anymore. I'd rather play midfielders in defense than you.
Which is just, yeah. He wanted a piece out of there so bad.
Yeah.
Wout Fass led the Premier League in own goals scored with 2. Tied with, believe it or not, Chris Mepham, which maybe is believable. And then the other one is Joachim Anderson.
Okay.
But Faust, he did us a favor. He scored his 2 own goals for Liverpool. So thanks, my man. Maybe we'll see you in the Premier League again someday.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't get to watch Liverpool game, so I don't. Was there anything more you?
No, we just commanded the ship all game long. Even after the first goal, it was just ours to play with. First goal was really tight, whether or not it was going to be onside, because Diaz, his run, I don't know. You could go look at it and you could flip a coin and say it probably was off. It could have gone either way. I honestly thought it was going to be off at first glance. And they called it on, and I said, great. But I didn't feel fully confident that it was, even after I watched it 1 or 2 more times. I didn't get to see the line drawn. It was one of those, just like they zoomed in on him, they zoomed out, they had the like shadowed line. It wasn't like the red line that went across his chest. I don't know if they showed that, at least on the program that I was watching. I think I was watching it on Sky Sports.
Okay.
But it was very, very close. And I don't know, he was faster, but the defending on it, if you're going to go back, watch that goal again, watch the defending that Wout Fass did, because he's watching the ball like an outfielder going to catch something over his head, and then he decides not to go for it. He turns around, he sees Diaz with the ball, and he's like, I don't know what to do. And then he kind of like darts back and forth, and I think by the end of the session, he's really defending no one. He wasn't within an arm's length of anyone besides Diaz for the entirety of the clip. Oh, it's so hard to watch. It's so bad. I can't get over it. I'm so sorry. And then, of course, after they score the goal, the camera pans straight onto him, because I think even they know, like, yeah, this guy, he messed up. That was cool. Feel a little bad for him, but hey, whatever. Another 3 points to Liverpool. We are closing in, Chad. We just need Man U to mess up one more time. One more time.
You're knocking right there on Man U and Newcastle, honestly, after this weekend. So the top four dream is well and truly alive, I think.
I gotta go back to our predictions. We gotta go find that episode to see exactly where I had him. Because dang, did I have him third? No, I don't think I did. I think I had him fourth. I think in my standings I had him fourth. Newcastle. I think I had Newcastle second. Then I had City third. Arsenal first.
Dang. I mean,
I want to say you had Castle out.
no, I think I had Castle on top. Oh no, I did have Castle out because they weren't
Scoring.
getting wins. Like they were drawing a lot, and yeah, they couldn't convert their draws into wins.
And then Callum Wilson said, I am going to be the top goal scorer in all of Europe with 10 goals in the last, whatever it was, 5 weeks. That's a crazy stat. 31 years old. Granted, a lot of them are PKs, but I'm pretty sure is that the stat that you got brought up?
He has that knack to just kind of like
Be there.
Be in the right spot, right? Like so many of the goals I've seen him score have just been, he's center of the box and it just kind of gets deflected to him, or like he just happens to kind of be right where he needs to be just to like slot it in, which I mean is one of those talents and skills that is kind of unteachable. You just gotta have to have it, that intuition, I guess. And
it's Firmino like.
He has it. Yeah.
Jose Sa. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, looking ahead, United's got Bournemouth next. Still got Chelsea to play, and then they end with Fulham. Newcastle has Brighton next, Leicester, and then end with Chelsea. So Newcastle Brighton, I think, could get spicy. I want to say Chelsea is having a little resurrection here, but who knows? They play both of them, so Chelsea could be your friend here.
I don't believe in Chelsea one bit. But if they want to put on a show the last 3 games of the season, which, by the way, what a brutal way to end your season. United, City, and Newcastle, that's rough.
Yeah,
that's got to be the hardest stretch I think we've seen throughout the season.
Probably, yeah.
Right? You're playing 3 out of the top 5 teams?
And it's
the top 4 teams.
Yeah, and United and Newcastle are, I mean, they're both, they gotta win, right? Like they can't let anything slip. You got Liverpool right behind, Brighton still with 4 games in hand here. Like they're kind of could be on your tail. So I mean, yeah, Chelsea's got to be firing on all cylinders if they're gonna get anything from these. It just, I don't think it's going to happen for you, but I'm just saying, like, they could be your decider here if Liverpool can sneak their way into top 4.
It'd be nuts. I'm looking at the table again, and if Chelsea would have lost to Bournemouth, they would be sitting at 39 points in 15th place. I guess 14th place. But man, what could have been.
Yeah.
But that's all right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't expect them to do anything crazy. They're probably not going to play. I don't know. I see Chelsea just not playing these games with the best of their ability. I mean, they put in Mendy. They'll probably put in other players that haven't played in a while to see if they can boost their value. Coming into the summer, like we might see Pulisic. We might see, who else is playing on this team that we haven't seen in a while? Is Ross Barkley still with them?
No.
Okay,
I don't think so. He very well could be, but I don't think so.
I don't know, Chad. I feel like he is, and he's on loan or something. I think he's on loan. He's in France.
Oh my God! They still have Ross Barkley.
He's only 29. He's not like he's been around forever, but
yeah, not that he's too old. It's just I didn't realize. I don't know why they signed him in the first place, but then for him to still be a Chelsea player is just incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, based off their game against Forest, like I don't think you can have too much hope they'll help you. Like the 2 goals they gave up were just such bad defending. Like like that the first goal, it's a one going up for it between 2 Chelsea defenders and on rushing Mendy, and he somehow is the one that wins out of all that. He gets his head to the ball. Like, how are you going to let that happen?
Thiago Silva is so overplaying for this team. He says
Oh
he's
my
ready to
God.
go back to Brazil next year to go play. That's how bad
He
it's been.
should. I mean,
But
like,
he's not their worst player.
oh, not at all. Not at all.
You could almost blame none of this on him.
I think that's fair. Like, I just think as you get to the end of your career, it's probably more. Not that you want to cruise, but like you don't want to be around so much drama within the club, right? And it's just been like new ownership, and then 3 separate managers over this season, and just not good performances, and I'm sure he's just tired of all that. And if he goes back to Brazil, there might be some drama, but like he'll be around family and friends, and can go to the beach and stuff, like
Yep.
live a little bit happier life probably.
Is Pochettino going to be managing this club for the last 3 games or no?
No, Lampard's
Okay.
finishing out the season. But then, yeah, I guess we'll see. I don't know if he'll have much say in transfers and stuff, or if, because Chelsea's got to sell players. Like,
Well, they got too many.
they got too many, and they need to make some money on them. And I mean, yeah, I don't know who is your top target. I guess maybe like Mason Mount, but now there was talk of him like maybe wanting to stay now. So I don't know.
How big of a loss do you think needs to happen against City this weekend for them to even say, you know what, Lampard, we can't let you even take these last 2? What would do it? 5-0? They lose 5-0 against City. You think they keep Lampard on?
I think they might just let him ride it out. Like,
How about 6?
look, if this ends up being the game where Holland scores 5, well, we all thought if it happens, it'll be against your Southampton and Leicester this season, and Forest or something like. But it happens against Chelsea.
If it happens against Todd Bowley's going to walk down there and manage the team himself if it happens against him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's worth it necessarily to bring in Pochettino at this point. Like, I guess maybe you don't need to. You can just not have Lampard coach and just throw it to whatever assistant or like youth coach that Chelsea have, and let them finish out the season. But
Isn't John Terry there?
he might be now.
I think he is.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
I don't either. Honestly, that's a game I'm going to circle because
Yeah.
I think it'll be a fun one to spectate. All right, what other games we got here we need to bust out?
I mean, Leeds got the big draw against Newcastle.
Huge draw. I can't believe they made that happen, and they could have won.
Yeah, they could have won.
Oh.
Just Bamford. just Bamford doing Bamford things. Yeah. I mean, I was curious his stats, I guess. So I compared him to Daka, Alcaraz, and I wasn't gonna do anyone else, but then I saw him in the Man United game, so I had to throw Anthony in there because he just couldn't hit the target. So Bamford this season has had 48 shots, 16 of them have been on target, so 33%. He's got 4 goals, 2 assists, but 2 missed PKs. So that hurts. Patson Daka, 30 shots, 16 on target, so 53%. 4 goals, 4 assists. Hasn't attempted any PKs, so a touch better. Alcaraz at Southampton, 22 shots, 9 on target, 41% on target rate, 4 goals, 1 assist, no PKs. And Anthony, 68 shots, 24
God
on target.
damn.
It's 35%. He's got 4 goals, 2 assists, 0 PKs. So, while Anthony is not the striker like the other 3 are, I guess maybe shoots too much or something. Right? Like he's not getting his shots on target enough, clearly. And just not great output for what he was 90 million, 100 million, something
Crazy.
like that. So yeah, Bamford's not had a great season for sure. You know, like,
do you have their
starting-
XGs?
Not handy. I think Bamford's though was like almost like 8 or something like that.
I think so.
So, you know, he's definitely missed a few good sitters that maybe would have been the difference between Leeds staying up and not. And I mean, this penalty, while it wasn't the worst penalty I've seen, like Pope definitely does well to save it, but man, just smack that thing in there.
Oh, it's 9.3.
Oh.
That's so fucking terrible.
Yeah, not a good look. Not a good look.
Ooh, yeah, that's pretty bad. Anthony's 5.6.
Kind of just about there, and then
Daka's 2.
oh, is he overperforming?
Alcaraz is 0.41.
Oh, see,
So underperformers,
You know.
underperformers, yeah. But Bamford's just had the like crazy. I'm in front of goal. I'm looking
Yeah.
at the goal. I'm looking at the ball. I'm going to pass the ball into the goal, and I sky it.
how I don't know, but
Oh, so but hey, they got the point. That's where
yeah.
that's the important thing. But
Yeah,
the win
keeps
would have been
them-
nicer.
I mean, yeah, you take the win there, and then you're at least out of the relegation zone. Point is definitely still important. Like, there's still hope. But man, I don't know. They just, I feel like if they had a little bit more composure, they could have got over the line here and took all 3. But
Big Sam,
uh,
what happened?
I don't know. Players are panicking, I think.
Probably feel almost like
Yeah.
too much pressure.
Yeah.
In the Man U Wolverhampton game, boy, was I rooting hard for Wolverhampton. But Jose Sa didn't play, and
Yeah.
I can't find a lick of why that happened.
Okay. 'Cause- Yeah, I noticed that, and I assumed injury, but then I saw he was on the bench, and I was like, what are we doing here?
Maybe a day off. Maybe they want to get this other keeper some reps before the end of the season, since they like don't really have much to play for anymore. On a fantasy perspective, for me, that hurts a lot.
Sure. Yeah.
I had a pretty bad week. I fell in the standings a little bit. People went up, but yeah, I was just kind of shocked to not see him in there and not on the injury report. So I don't know, Man U. They didn't over impress. They kind of just did their thing again. Possessed the ball. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't expect the Wolves to win. Would have been sweet if they got a draw, but they just don't. They don't have much to play for right now, and Man U does.
Yeah,
It's kind of like as simple as that.
Yeah, they and Wolves have just been kind of like hit or miss since they got a little bit of a run going. I feel like it started and just never really, they couldn't find the momentum to like keep them going.
Mm-hmm.
And got enough distance from the relegation zone that I think now they're just kind of like cruise control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kind of jumping down the list. Tottenham lost again.
Sure did.
Fun times. I can't
Great.
believe how much they've fallen in the last. Well, I kind of can believe it because we kind of saw it coming, but at the same time, Conte must be so happy that he's out of this dumpster fire of a team.
I mean, they just they love to give away an early goal and just have to try and fight back, and then it's worked sometimes, but more often than not, I think it hasn't. And I mean, they're just a mess out there. Like, I think Son had like 4 offsides against him. Like,
Wow.
couldn't deal with the high line, I guess. And I don't know if you saw it. It ended up being offside anyway. But he had this 1-on-1 with Emi Martinez and just like shoots right at him. Basically, it was like, that's not the Son that we've seen in seasons past. And so, I mean, confidence is low, I guess, and
The pressure is there.
pressure,
It's
yeah,
evident. Now that's a bottling.
yeah. There you go.
That's a European bottling right there to go from third, fourth, roughly the whole season. Now they're going to be in seventh. Could be eighth real soon.
I mean, yeah, you got Brighton above you with 1 point above you, but still 2 more games, ahead of you to play. Like, I think their hope of Europa League is
no
fading.
way.
Champions
Done.
League for sure.
Champions
You're
League's locked in. They're completely out.
You're maybe getting the Conference League, but I mean, I don't know. Villa's got the win against you here and is pushing real hard to get into any form of Europe. So,
Well, the only reason why Tottenham's in seventh and not eighth is because of Stevie G.
yeah,
Look at the goal differential. And they're probably going to pass him on goal differential next week. Tottenham plays
Honestly, yeah.
Brentford, right? Brentford.
Is it
Brentford,
next?
yeah, and Brentford just had a great game this weekend.
Yeah.
So I put money on Brentford right now. Brentford have way more momentum, way more confidence. Their strikers and wingers are playing to the. I mean, they didn't have Tony and they looked great. It's almost like this was a precursor as to life without Tony, and I don't think it's a bad way to go. I think when you have Tony on your team, you need to get Tony the ball.
Sure, yeah.
And with this fluidity of a squad that's kind of selfless, ball's just pinging around, just trying to find that next person making a run, and that's exactly what they're doing. And now their back line is, pretty damn strong. I'd feel really good about them going into next season. And I will not be shocked if they make it into Europe. If they sneak into the Europe this year, I'd be surprised. But next year, I would be like, yeah, Gab, I believe it.
Yeah, I mean, Brentford pretty much all season performed really well. They had that little run of rough results, but I mean, yeah, if Tony's probably going in the summer, right? Like, he's third on the goal scorers list now, maybe fourth, I don't know, but he's up there. So I'm sure bigger teams will come knocking. I mean, yeah, like, if this is kind of the look of Brentford without him, it's definitely a good look. And you can reinvest the money you get for Tony and into some other players too, and other positions. And I don't know, I could see maybe like a Aston Villa Brighton kind of play next season for them, where it's knocking on the European door. If they get there, I don't know, but I mean, it's definitely a good season to build on and move forward. So
You can't hate what they did.
no, definitely not.
They've been in the Premier League for 2 years. Is this their second year?
Yeah.
Whew, man.
So
A lot of teams would love to be where they are.
oh, for sure.
We saw Mitrovic back.
Yeah.
He essentially put the
Helps
dagger
fantasy
in.
team, right?
Yeah, would have 6 months ago, but that was kind of a shock to see that he was the man to kind of put the dagger in Southampton. See, I was like, it had to be him. Had to be him. Of course, he comes back from his suspension and does that to our boy JWP.
All right. Does he stay? Does he go?
He's loyal, but this is more about Southampton being loyal to him, not the other way around. I'm sure he'll say, "I never wanted to leave the club." He'll say all the right things.
He's been there since he's 8 or whatever, right? Like
8 years old. That's crazy. Yeah. If he stays with them, I will be shocked. But the man deserves so much better. So much more. I will not be surprised if he goes to any of the top 8 teams right now, from Brentford to Brighton to Tottenham.
Where would you like to see him? Like that, I've been trying to think about it since that game, and just trying to think where he would fit.
Brentford would make a ton of sense. I know we literally are speaking about them right now, but that would make a ton of sense. Aston Villa would be really neat to see him there. Mm-hmm. Weirdly enough, Tottenham, because he kind of is similar to what Eriksen did there, but I don't want to see him go there because I want to still root for him.
I think Tottenham's going to go in for Maddison more so than Ward-Prowse.
I think Newcastle is going to make bids for all those kind of attacking midfielders. So would it shock me if Newcastle got both Maddison and JWP? Nope, not at all. I think Castle's ready to splash that oil money on everyone and show them that we want to win this thing next year.
Yeah. I mean, I could see him at Castle. I think the only holdup there is that him and Bruno are kind of occupy the same role of the deeper creative player. But as you know, Arsenal found out, you need good depth. So, I mean, if you have Bruno and Ward-Prowse fighting for one position, you can rotate, and it'd probably just help both of them get better. So, it's a good shout. I would like a Brentford or a Villa, just because he is kind of that Eriksen player where it's I mean, his free kicks are amazing. He can create, he can defend pretty well, and for so long he's kind of been the creative outlet at Southampton. So I think in a team with more creative players, you'll probably see him shine a little bit more, just because it's a little bit less pressure for him to have to kind of do everything.
I mean, he's been the most talented player on that team ever since we've pretty much started. Well, I don't want to say the most talented. He's been, because we've seen guys come in there, Mane and Virgil, who obviously have tons of talent, but he's never had anyone to kind of grow up with and to share his talents with over a long period of time. So yeah, I would say arguably he was the best player on those teams, even when they had Mane, even when they had, some of the better attacking options for that squad. So I don't know. It'd be neat to see him on a team that had players who were better than him.
Oh yeah. And
that's a compliment too. That's not anything against his play.
Let's see. Crystal Palace.
I could see him going there.
That would be a good fit, I think. Especially with their front line is pretty quick and tricky, and I think you have James Ward-Prowse feeding them balls, and I think that's pretty good fit too. So we'll see. Got options.
Bednarak. He ain't staying, but I don't know where he would go. I don't think it's a good thing to be a defender on a relegated team. I don't think you're going to get a lot of looks.
No, but I mean, he wasn't at Southampton the whole season, right? So he maybe looks a little bit better because of that.
Was he on West Ham?
No, where was he?
Yeah, I think it was West Ham.
Was it West Ham? Was it?
So I don't know if you could arguably say that with his tenure with West Ham. It wasn't a lot of games. West Ham was arguably worse with him.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a decent enough defender. Oh no, he's at Villa. He was at Villa.
Oh, Villa. God, well,
but he just didn't play much. So, I don't know. Bednarak, I think, will stay in the Premier League. somewhere.
Maybe with a promoted team. Maybe
Could be something like
Sheffield?
that. Yeah, I think Sheffield's guaranteed. I think.
I think they made it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. He'll be an interesting one to watch too, because I mean he has enough Premier League experience and playing for the Polish national team and stuff. So like a very experienced player to have, and
28, 29?
Typically a pretty good defender, I think. So some teams will come sniffing around and
He's
snatch him
27.
up. That's it, man. See, he's got a long Premier League career ahead of him.
He might. He just might. What are the games we got here, Chad?
It's kind of it, right?
Kind of knocked him out. Crystal Palace and Bournemouth, Eze did his thing again. The guy only scores in bunches. He only scores
Eze,
by 2.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace, you proved me wrong. He stayed in the Premier League.
Yeah. I told you.
You got that one right, Chad.
Yeah.
Where'd they end up getting? 12th? Yeah, they're 12th. They'll probably they'll hover.
Feels like where they were supposed to be. Yeah.
2 more weeks. I can't believe it.
I know. Coming down to the end here.
Oh, man. It doesn't feel real. And like looking at our fantasy too, Chris Curtis might make a quick little push to get that top spot.
Yeah, I mean,
4 points away. Whoa.
Still very tight.
Whoa.
So we'll see. We'll see what they can do. I mean, that whole top 5 in fantasy right now is just like whoever just happens to have the right player that week, right? Even kind of down to 7 is like pretty tight. I'm holding down 8th. I've had 8th for like a solid 5 weeks.
you would need like a huge Bruno, a Bruno game with a Virgil goal, a Virgil and Anderson goal in one, and I think you might be one of the few with Dunk.
I mean, I just need Rashford to like get another goal.
That too. Rashford just stops. If Rashford wouldn't have stopped scoring, you'd probably be in this mix.
Yeah, because I picked him
8
up
points a week,
kind of mid his resurgence there, and he helped me climb. I was sitting down in like 11th for a while there, and I was climbing well with him. But then he just stopped performing.
Last 3 weeks, 8-3-0. That'll get you.
Yikes.
And in the player master top scorers, when I was checking off points this week, he's right next to Eze, and Eze had 18, and I was like looking at Rashford, and I was like, Rashford he got like 0, and I was like going back, and I wasn't scanning all the way across correctly, but I was sitting there going, there's no way I put Rashford having 18 points, and I was looking at your score on the table. I was like, you didn't move, and I was like, I don't know what happened, but we got there.
Yeah.
So yeah, Eze's going to be on. I don't want to say my list of players I might take next year. But,
I started with him.
I know it was second half player.
Yeah. I mean, Crystal Palace, came alive after Roy Hodgson came back in, so yeah, I mean, good player. Him, Elise looks good. Crystal Palace got some sleepers on there for fantasy, I think.
Yep.
I mean, Anderson's been pretty solid for most of the season, so yeah, I mean, it's definitely a name to keep on the list for next season and see what happens. But
well, I was looking at stats that we could track, and tackles won might be a fun one because a lot of the defensive midfielders win those tackles, and then defenders. There's only one defender in our top 10 scoring, being Darkowski, and that's because he hit a record-breaking 80 block shots this season. And
my God,
every stat is breakable, but that is one where I just can't imagine someone breaking that.
Yeah,
80.
that's crazy. I mean, not to say that all 80 of those shots would have resulted in a goal, but like I don't know, a handful of those for
A
sure at
handful.
least saved Everton a goal. That's just wild. He's got that knack, I guess, to be where he needs to be, um, on his man, right? He's defending well and doing his best to save Everton, but
Do you know who's second? At least on our
with
scoreboard?
blocks.
Yeah.
Hmm. Um, no. It'd be like a Mings, maybe.
I think there's some Burnley DNA in the both of them.
Oh, jeez. Of course, Ben Me.
It's Ben Me.
Wow.
Ben Me has 34.
And that's second.
At least on ours. I mean, we could check who
Yeah,
scored to
yeah.
see, but I don't know. No one really. We're pretty. When we look at stats, I pay attention to those little tiny details,
Mhm.
and I just don't see anyone racking them up like he is.
No, it's a wild number for sure.
I just don't see anyone breaking that. I don't know how you would break that.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't watched a lot of Everton this season, but the times that I have, I feel like I don't notice him making so many blocks. But then, yeah, you go and check the stats after the game. It's like, yeah, he just had like 9 blocks. It's like, what?
So in the Premier League, and this doesn't account for FA Cup or anything else that we track, Tarkowski has 77. Next is Maximilian Kilman with Wolverhampton with 42. Third is
Okay.
Wout Fast with 37. And then fourth is Ben Mee with 35.
And me.
So
Dang.
still, Tarkowski has almost double of the next person.
Wow. Blocking machine.
Crazy.
Crazy
Yeah.
indeed.
It's an interesting stat here. All right, Chad, you want to do our goal team player?
Yeah.
Might,
I'm ready.
might break your heart a little. Um, for my player, I think it's got to be Gundogan. 2 goals and an assist.
So,
2 sick goals. Same stat line as last week.
yeah.
They're-
So, like Salah had a really good game and a really good opportunity to have player of the week, but and yeah, I think you got to go Gundogan on this one. Like,
If Salah had a goal, include with the 3 assists, I'd be more inclined.
sure, yeah,
But I think Gundogan, even the goals he scored were just like pretty epic. So
oh yeah.
all right, if we'll go with him then. Now, team of the week is kind of interesting because now I kind of want to reward those draws. Just because
okay.
they mean way
Big.
more now than they did, 3 to 4 weeks ago. However, my first choice would be Brighton taking down second team Arsenal 3-0, just because that is definitely the most impressive.
Yeah, it's definitely a impressive win, and as much as maybe Arsenal kind of turned off towards the end there, like a 3-0 win away is always a good result, especially when it's been one of the top teams of the season. So they definitely get a shout. Yeah, I like Leeds getting the draw against Newcastle. Like that's a pretty big gap in the table between the two. It feels more impactful than Nottingham Forest's draw with Chelsea, just because Chelsea's been pretty bad.
But they came back. They had to get that second one. That's the. I mean, we're in the same order. I had Brighton, and then Leeds, and then Forest.
Yeah.
And Leeds could have won that game.
I think that's kind of my only thing of holding me back from them is that like they had the opportunity to win this thing and kind of fumbled it, whereas Brighton just took control and made sure they got the 3 points.
Mhm.
Didn't really let Arsenal back into the game even a hint. So I think I'd probably lean Brighton on there.
Yeah, it's the most clear cut.
Yeah.
Damn you, Brighton. Damn you.
And it jumps them above Tottenham now, and they're kind of in that top 5-4 talk now. I mean, they still have more games to play, but
next year, will we have everyone be playing on the same time frame? Because I swear this hasn't been this out of control.
It should be
in
closer.
A long time, right?
Yeah, because I think they were saying Brighton just had the unfortunate luck of some games just lining up when the Queen passed.
Yeah, the Queen screwed
a
lot of this up.
Her whole funeral, and then just some other European conflicts and stuff, and because you normally see a team with 1, maybe 2 games in hand, but at this point everyone's pretty much level. But Brighton still got 2 more games ahead of everyone else.
I'm pretty sure they were supposed to play Crystal Palace one week, but Crystal Palace had construction on the road that was supposed to get to the stadium. So that was a problem. It was the week after the Queen died, so they had that 2-week setback, and I think that just screwed up everything else. And then the goal.
The goal. Okay. There's a handful of good goals this week. I really like Eze's second goal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he just kind of takes it right there at the top of the box. Got 3 or 4 Bournemouth defenders around him, but hits it just perfectly. I like Curtis Jones' second goal. I thought it was
too.
It's one of those confidence goals where he just takes it and just doesn't even take a second to think, just turn and shoot, and it's exactly what he needs to do. Trent's free kick, of course. I mean, I like both Gundogan's goals. I like probably his first one more than the free kick, just because you don't really see it like that. But
his free kick, he hit with this heel-ish area, and
it was a weird kick. Yeah.
Had a weird knuckle to it. I gotta go with his first one. That was on my list. I did like Curtis Jones, his goal as well, but I don't know, that flick was just so out of nowhere. Because he's not the type of player that does these. It wasn't acrobatic, but it was definitely athletic.
Yeah.
He's not really an athletic. I don't imagine him to be a very athletic player who can do all these twists and turns and contort his body in weird positions. And Holland's weird bicycle goal a while ago, that's expected. That was a Holland goal I expected there, not a Gundogan. So I don't know, that I don't want to give City so much praise, but damn it, they're just so good.
I mean, I think it got to be Gundogan's first goal. Just the blind little flick thing. You don't see it, especially not from a midfielder like that,
Yeah, why didn't Tarkowski block that one?
Yeah, come on now.
A friend of the show, Sufi, just texted me. Nunez not even on the bench. Is that true? He wasn't even on the bench today?
Wasn't even on the bench. Taking a little rest. Early summer vacay.
Well, I'm really curious now with Salah doing as much as he did today that Sufi has Salah, right? Uh-oh, he does.
Uh-oh.
Does Sammy have Salah? Yep. And then does Waffle have Salah? Yep. And then does Theo have Salah? If Theo has Salah, dude, I'm gonna be 7th place chilling with you. Oh yeah, I'll see you down there, Chad, real soon. No. 7th and 8th, baby. That's where I'll be. Oh man, that's not good. I think that's the truth. Salah definitely got 12 points today. 3 goals, 3 assists, 9 points. He took some shots, I imagine.
Yeah, he has, I think, at least one shot on target, if not more.
We can do this quick math here. Quick math.
I think you're coming down.
I might be sticking around.
Yeah.
3 goals, 3 points, 3 assists. That's 9. 10 being the 1 shot on target.
Mm-hmm.
He has no clearances or blocks. So if you give all those people 10 points, I am still in 5th place. Woo! But everyone is only 3 points behind me.
Oh, yikes.
This is going to be a tight finish to top 3, even to top 5. Yeah, wow.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow. All right, Chad, anything else that you want to bring up?
I guess your Sac Republic update. They had their Open Cup match against Colorado Rapids midweek. Probably could have won it, but we're just a little too sloppy. Ended up going out to them. So Open Cup dream is dead this season.
Already?
But Saturday bounced back. Got a Russell Cicerone hat trick. 3-1 win over Indy 11. Undefeated in the league. Top of the West. Top of the whole league standings. And cruising in the league. So... if we had to sacrifice the Open Cup to get a league trophy, I'm okay with it. I'll take it. I'll save the money this year on expensive travel.
I did want it to be in St. Louis or Kansas City or something,
cool,
but hey, maybe next year.
Yeah.
Maybe when they win the title, I can fly out to Sac, do the thing. And do they have a game on Monday Monday by chance? This next week? They don't play on Mondays often.
No, they're on this Saturday they play, and then they might have one that following Wednesday, maybe. I don't know, but yeah.
Well, I'll be in NorCal this weekend.
Cool.
Don't tell Jimmy. If he listens to the pod, he'll find out on this, but until
ears,
that would be crazy if he's like, hey, I listened to your pod. I'm like, what? So yeah, I'll be around. Maybe we can do a little live rendition at a bar. Just a quick little spiel, maybe Sunday or Monday night. You don't work on Mondays, right? So
no.
If you're free Monday, actually, are there any games going on next Monday? There's got to be. Oh, actually, I don't think there are. I think they're only Saturdays and Sundays now.
Is it, just Saturday, Sundays now?
Nope, I lied. We got Newcastle and Leicester, which could be Leicester's fate. So maybe do a little something that day and go out to Sac and watch a game.
Yeah.
I'd be open to do something fun.
Yeah.
Maybe get the Banter Boys out there. We bring a snowball and do a live podcast.
Good luck.
I don't know. It's a Monday. I always see them out drinking on Mondays and watching a footy game.
You would think, but then when you try and get them all together,
push comes to shove. It's a little difficult.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, with that, I think we're all good here. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Episode 36 for match day 36. 2 to go. And then, of course, Champions League and FA Cup final. And then Women's World Cup in a couple of months after that. But until then, we will see y'all next week. The Hooligans are out. Peace.